Schumann and Steve Cully were never found. They talked about the team and plays. They analyze it well. The stadium's full of cheers and shouts. UConn's got spirit, we'll never doubt. Coaches share their thoughts. It's quite the treat. In this lively huddle we always meet. Huskies, we stand tall. With Coach Schumann and Steve Cully we call. Game plans and strategies, we break it down. In the Husky Huddle, our passion won. From defensive line to wide receiver, every position we cover it all together. Friendly banter, laughs and jokes. In this huddle we're like a close-knit flock. The gridirons, where we feel alive. With Coach Schumann and Steve Cully we thrive. In the Husky Huddle we're never alone. Together we win, that's our goal.
All right.
That is our goal, to win. And that's all I do in life is win. And I am your host, the best podcast host in the universe, Steve Cully. And with me, my assistant, who's got the old man look rolling today, as he is stuffing cotton in his ears. Oh, no, he's stuffing his earbuds in his ears. I do like your hair, though, Coach Schumann.
Yeah, man. It's getting nice and long. It's full.
When you played, did you have like a buzz cut? Like I was trying to picture what you look like when you played.
I went through different
styles.
Different years I had different. Yeah. I think most years when we get actually to the season, I would end up chopping it. Cut it short.
Yeah, it's too hot.
It was too hot, and I would just end up like shaving it, or not completely shaving it, but like crew cut it and just roll that way.
Yeah,
every once in a while, you're never alone in the Husky Huddle, right? That's right, Christy.
Well,
right.
I had a mohawk when I was a junior. They shaved me as a mohawk, and I remember my parents came to our scrimmage, and my mother was mortified when she saw me walking around with a mohawk. I thought that was kind of funny. So the news of the week, apparently, or the news of last week, UConn announced the times for their home games, which I still don't understand, because being an independent, I don't know why you would have scheduled 7 away games and 5 home games. You can schedule whatever the hell you want. They had 7 home games last year. They go to 5 this year. I just don't get that. But I mean, Delaware's not far. BC's not far. So whatever. Just the times are a little odd for me. Central Connecticut is a 2 p.m. kickoff. And it's not, I don't think it's on TV. It's on UConn Plus, WWAX. Never heard of that. This is the 5th season of UConn on the CBS Sports Network. Then Saturday, September 20th, the worst time possible, we have a 3:30 matchup against Ball State. There's nothing like a MAC team coming to Pratt Whitney Stadium for a 3:30 kickoff. And then following that, on October 4th, we have another 3:30 kickoff against the Florida International Panthers. Oh, Christ. UAB is coming to the Rent November 1st. This is the only they have a noon game. They're playing UAB at noon. And then Duke. See, now this is a disappointment. Like Duke is probably Duke is the top opponent visiting us this year, and we're playing them at 3:30. That I would have expected to have been a night game. You know, it would have been nice to have on the schedule. We played them at night last year.
Do we have lights there?
Yeah, we do.
Oh yeah, we do. We have night games. That's right.
Not
We have
like
Thursday
Memorial where they had to roll in the lights at Memorial.
games. I don't think I ever played a lights game
Really?
at UConn. Oh, nope, that's not true. You're right.
We played a
We played a few. Buffalo was night. Yeah, no, I'm wrong.
Buffalo. We played at night too. Buffalo
Yeah.
and Colgate. We played at night.
How they rolled in lights for that? How did they do that? There wasn't lights
They
at
brought in
Memorial?
lights. Yeah, they brought it. They rolled in lights for those games because Memorial did not have lights.
Oh,
I do remember one game they were worried about possibly going into overtime, and it was a later game. I think it was my freshman year, and we were playing Northeastern or New Hampshire. I can't remember. And they were worried about the game going into overtime because it would have been too dark. We wouldn't have been able to play. So from what I can see, the only other noon game is Air Force, Saturday, November 15th at noon. It's just I know you're limited when you have when you're in independent.
sure.
You also have control. You have control of your schedule. You have control of your opponents. You're trying to fill the roster with games, and it's disappointing to see. I mean, I understand 3:30 because for the students, they're not going to make the noon game. You know, for a student after a Friday night at Huskies to get up at 9:00, get on the bus, and go to tailgate at the stadium. It's just unrealistic. So I think they're trying to make the games later to try to draw greater attendance. Like I said, the attendance last year, if you look at it, you know, we only had one game. We had two games that were above 30,000 people. And that's not going to cut it. And like you had said, oh, there's the yawn already. Like you had said, the only thing that's going to cure this is winning the teams that are played and put in front of us. And that will hopefully give us a chance to move up. And attendance. If we show that we're a draw consistently, that will make a difference. That will make a huge difference. Because, you know, the ACC doesn't want to bring a team in that's drawing 20,000 people a game.
Correct.
You know, that I completely understand. So we were going to take a look because, you know, summer workouts have started and this team is relatively very, very new with the transfers that have come in, the guys that left. They did lose another quarterback in the transfer portal just recently. I don't know how much he was valued, but they did lose him.
Who's that?
It was on Twitter. It was on the UConn Huskies Twitter. It was a guy who was deep on the depth chart. He left, which I completely understand.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the quarterback position, like we said, and we talked about this, the players are petitioning the NCAA for a fifth year of eligibility because they say that the fifth year is their maximum opportunity to make money.
Okay.
So that's part of it. Joe Fagiano's coming back. This is his eighth year.
Shut up! No
I
way.
told you that. You see,
You're-
you don't listen. You don't listen to anything I say. Yes, it's his
No,
eighth year. It's his eighth year. He got approved for an eighth year of eligibility. I have no idea
year of
how.
eligibility.
Yes,
That's amazing. I mean,
it is
I'm glad
amazing.
that we need him. We need him. But
Well,
8 years?
I mean, I think, right now, if you look at our quarterback roster, it's kind of scary because Cole Welliver transferred, and then the other guy transferred. We only have 4 quarterbacks on our roster, which is really small. I mean, most teams carry 7, some carry 8. We only have 4, and it's Joe, Evers, Tucker McDonald, who played a little bit last year. He got hurt, and Kassan Farrar, who was the Virginia State Player of the Year. So that's kind of scary just thinking about it going in, because knock on wood, anything happens, our season goes down the drain.
Right.
Because we watched Evers, and he didn't get the greatest start to his career. He starts having to play at Maryland, and I think that kind of set the tone for his season. He got knocked around against Maryland. He didn't play well. There were a lot of expectations going in about him, and he struggled to live up to them. Plus the start and stops with him. He was injured 3 separate times and had to come back from that. And that definitely made a big difference. You know what I mean?
Well, I think Joe Pagano, passing wise, has done a great job. He has a great arm.
Joe can
run.
throw. Right.
He doesn't run that well. He operates the offense at an exceptional level. I think he's the best by far at that point. The second guy we have, who's the backup?
The backup would be Evers.
Evers does everything okay, decent, nothing outstanding.
Correct.
I think that he's got to quicken up his decision-making process, his release, those
He
kind
looks
of
uncomfortable
things.
back there. He never looks like he is comfortable in the pocket. And I don't know if it's because he doesn't know necessarily where to go with the football.
Right.
Or that's just who he is. You got to remember, I mean, he's on his 3rd school for transferring. So that obviously makes a huge difference. I mean, where's 3rd school? He goes from Oklahoma to Wisconsin, and he comes to us. And he comes to us with all the fanfare in the world. And unfortunately, it just didn't happen.
Yep.
And I don't know if it was him dealing with the pressure put on him. He was one of the higher NIL players that we invested in, and we didn't get out of him what we should have. So it's disappointing to see. He's a junior, which I like. We took him with 3 years of eligibility, so I did like that. Because again, it's a chance for a guy to develop. If he's patient and he is from Texas, he learns behind Joe. And believe me, Joe doesn't have all the answers either, but Joe is efficient with the ball. He puts it where it needs to be. I discredit him because he had 6 touchdown passes against Merrimack out of his 20, but he was relatively productive, efficient wise on the field, which is what you need and what you look for. I was trying to check out his stats. He ended up, he threw for 20 touchdowns and he threw for 4 interceptions, but he only threw for 1,600 yards. 1,600 yards, 20 touchdowns, 10 passes, 10 interceptions. I'm sorry. 20 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. That's a great ratio. His completion percentage was very suspect. He was in the 50s. And that's just what's concerning. And he only played in 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games. He played in 10 games, 10 out of the 12 games. In 1, 2, 3, 3 of the 4 of the games he didn't really start. So, like I said, I think that the offense was not designed for him. I think the offense was designed for Evers. I think if you ask me, Dave, they overestimated the athleticism of Evers. I don't think he's that explosive, dynamic athlete where, he can pull the ball down and run and gain 30 yards like Lamar Jackson.
Right.
I don't even think he's Jalen Monroe, the Alabama kid. I think that's what they thought they were getting with him. They were getting a dual threat quarterback who was explosive enough in the zone read game to give them opportunities to execute RPOs, to give them the opportunity to hold the backside linebacker, the backside end in pursuit. Their base run play was outside zone. When you do that, you have to have a threat to hold the backside, and I don't think that they did. And I think that hindered them. But I think with Joe, at least they know what they're getting. They know that he is not capable of pulling down the ball and running for 10 yards. I mean, he may get you 4 or 5, but he's not an explosive athlete. And maybe that's something he's worked on. Maybe that's something they're developing with him over the summer. My hope is Gordy, Samus, Ozempic, that he coordinates the offense to Joe's strength. There's the yawn. There's the yawn.
Yeah.
You're getting bored already. What can I say to pique your interest?
To pique my interest?
How do I pique your interest?
Break down some film.
Well, there's no. We can't get really any film on them.
Yeah, we got Joe Pagano. Let's see what we got in Joe Pagano here.
There's no film. What are you on YouTube?
Yeah.
You're on YouTube and you're saying there's film on Joe Fagnano.
Fagnano. How you say Fagnano? Yeah.
Yeah, it's Fagnano. No, I'd be interesting to see the film on him because he does have a strong arm. He can make the throws.
Let's look at the Fenway Bowl.
You just have the whole game up?
No, it's just the highlights.
Oh, the highlights. Okay. I got you. Okay. Are you going to share your screen or you want me to share it?
I got it.
He played very well in the Fenway Bowl. He was very efficient. They put Evers in to do designed runs.
Blocking, great job of getting through that C gap, and Mel Brown finding his way to the next level. Huge gain on the opening play from UConn.
One of the quirks of playing football here at Baseball Stadium.
Excellent.
Here's Evers. Track down defensively. Beautiful.
It's Evers running.
That's the only way they used Evers in direct quarterback runs. They didn't do anything else with him. And I thought that was stupid. I thought that was, telegraphed. You're putting Evers in the game. And, when you have two quarterbacks, you have none.
Yeah, here's the design run right here going to his left.
It was the backside backer. They didn't get up to 73, didn't get up to him. So we settled for, we missed the field goal.
Oh, we got 3.
I thought, okay. Good. Now, I mean, they were in a terrible position. Omari Hampton did not play. He was the stud that was the only other running back drafted in the first round.
Okay.
And Jacoby Criswell, he's excellent as well, but you could tell this team was dead man walking. Like they didn't want to be.
There's Joe again, vertical route. Was that really
nice? That's what he does. I mean, he can put the ball. He's got a cannon for an arm. He's not super accurate, but you have to understand, like, we treated this like the Super Bowl. North Carolina treated it like the toilet bowl. Like they didn't want to be there.
Well, it was the toilet bowl for them.
Belichick was coming in. Is that Hampton? I'm trying to see if that's Omari. No, that's not. Omari Hampton. That's Freddie Kitchens. Freddie Kitchens. He was the head coach for the Browns. I think he was with the Giants. I mean, he's been all over the place. Did you see the thing about Belichick? What?
About what?
Did you see the thing about Belichick's buyout?
No.
Belichick apparently reduced his buyout to like $1 million.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It came as a shock. He willingly reduced his buyout. So people were quite surprised that happened.
Let's see this here.
Can you
roll, half roll?
Good job standing in there. But again, I mean, he throws vertical. He can throw vertical. But if you ask him, like, RPO stuff is not his specialty. Quick game is not his specialty. One.
Tight end.
Yeah, this is how they RPO the naked, which I'd never seen before. No, that was a great play.
There's another.
But you can see that his confidence grew once he realized he was the man.
Right. Of course, that's anybody.
And I think that made a huge difference.
I think it makes a big difference.
I think I may pay for him to give us a shout out.
How many more games should UConn have made? I counted 4 seasons worth of basketball, only blew 2. Our 2000 they screwed because it didn't get a conference tie-in.
True, very true. How many bowl games? I think we should have gone to one in 2002. We beat Iowa State, who was ranked. We were an independent. We should have gone to a bowl game. 2003 should have gone to a bowl game. And then everyone else, I think, did. They went to the Papa John's Bowl. They beat Steve Spurrier in 2008. The International Bowl was 2009. We went to that. They played Buffalo. They had a great year. It was really the tie-in with the Big East. The Big East did not give you a lot of great options. But what's scary about this to me is you clearly see that the season is going to be dependent on Joe. Because I'm going to go to Store Central. I don't know if they added any quarterbacks in the transfer portal, because that is very. I know who we lost. I want to double check that. I know we lost someone last week because I heard our coaches give him a shout out, say thanks for the memories. It's like, really? Like, come on.
Who said that?
One of our coaches, our coaching staff, said, thanks for the memories, good luck, whatever.
Where's he going to?
I don't know. I'm checking right now.
Who was the coach?
Oh, yeah, here he is. Jake Triptree. Jake Triptree transferred. And oh no, I'm sorry. It was Caleb Smith. Caleb Smith was the transfer, and he's going to BU to play lacrosse. We lost 3 quarterbacks. Caleb Smith is going to BU to play lacrosse. Cole Welliver is going for the starting job at New Mexico. Jake Triptree has not found a home yet. So, and then Josiah Gaving still doesn't have a home. And then, we brought in some good talent.
Right.
Jeremiah Lomax. Wow, he's new. He's from, I talked to you about him. He's the kid from Limestone. Burton, I think, is going to be good. Tamarius Walker, I really think is going to be good. He's the Maryland kid. Griffin Koch, the wide receiver, he went to IMG Academy, and he played at Kansas, transferred to UConn. The linebacker I like, the Samoan, Sion Moa, Utah State, BYU, and then we got him. The guy that apparently is supposed to be something special is Ty Chickathuru Bowman. He went to
$5.
He went to Independence Community College, Florida, Rice, and then UConn. So I don't know if you saw, there's a big debate going on. The NCAA officially got the settlement approved. How many bowl games should UConn have made? I counted 4 seasons worth of basketball, only blew 2. Are you saying, Chris D, they should have made them because of their record, or they should have made them because they lost because of bad coaching? That's what I would ask. I didn't know record wise. Because I know
Evers out of high school.
I know every time that we qualified.
Here's Evers out of high school.
Class of 2022 and had offers from nearly every school in the country. Unfortunately, he would not work out at Oklahoma or Wisconsin, and now he's at UConn trying to save it all. In today's video, we're going to talk about Nick Evers. We're going to talk about how he became a big-time recruit to begin with, talk about his time at both Oklahoma and Wisconsin, and what is next for him. But before we get started, if you're a big fan of college football, I can cover next. Now let's get started and talk about what happened to Nick Evers. In order to understand how Evers got to this point, we first need to go back in time. His parents would meet at Texas A&M, where they were basketball walk-ons for the men's and women's team. Apparently, they're...
Oh.
Yeah, I knew that.
I didn't know that. You knew that?
Yeah, I knew his parents.
Her first date featured a game of one-on-one, and she would say, quote, "It's a good thing he didn't let me win." Eventually, they ended up having Nick, and as he got more and more involved in sports, they developed a long-term relationship with quarterback coach Kevin Murray, the former Texas A&M star and father.
So he wanted to go to
running there.
Yeah, he does. And it's against good competition. But I mean, he's not like taking off and distancing himself from the pack. He's good in the pocket and he's got a decent release, but he's got great talent around him. And his mechanics wise, it looks like his feet are way too wide. Would you say his feet are too wide for his size when he passes? It looks like he gets too elongated and then he tries to get back to normal and it causes him some issues.
Yeah, I mean, he throws the long ball good. We lost though.
Yeah, but as far as
thought he would run around, but he didn't end up being a run around.
No, his dual threat, no. But his timing is, I mean, it still looks kind of late on some throws.
Yeah.
Like he could have got the ball there earlier. Like he's got a wide receiver who runs a 4-4. You could throw a fade. There's a naked. He shows some elusiveness. He looks like he's got a funky release too. Almost sidearmish. You don't think so?
They're taught that.
They're taught that.
That's sidearmish throw. They teach it.
Yeah.
I ate all my cookies. Damn it.
I know, because I bored you. I'm just looking to see. Yeah, we did not bring in a quarterback.
Who's behind Evers?
It's Tucker McDonald. And then it's the true freshman, Cassine Farrar, who's a true freshman. So that's kind of scary.
Yeah.
Because it's a long season. Evers got hurt 3 separate times. If Figiano was to get hurt, I think we'd be in trouble. And that's why I think it's critical. You know, we got MJ Flowers, the Eastern Illinois transfer. We got Mel Brown. We got Cam Edwards. They're all dudes. Ty Chan, the lineman from Notre Dame. We got, Chris Parker, Romello Murphy, the wide receiver transfers. I think they could make an impact. And then we got Skylar Bell. I mean, our offense should be explosive. And with, like I said, my favorite group, I love the tight ends. I love Hansen. I love Hunnig. I love Burton. I think they give us an added dimension. They give us versatility. They give us flexibility. We can go 12 personnel. We can go 12 personnel and be dangerous. we can stay 11 personnel and do a lot of different things.
Yeah.
And I think that adds a dimension to the run game. When you have a tight end who can block, you're not always centered on running zone. You can run some power. You can run some counter. You can run ISO if you want. My favorite outside zone play, I don't like the way we block outside zone with full stretch. I like pin and pull. I like blocking down with the tight end, pulling the tackle, pulling the guard, getting him out there. And then I like to RPO backside because obviously Joe is not a threat to run backside. So you
what do you think about this McDonald? Oh, this is okay. McDonald
played a little bit. McDonald played a little bit last year, but he got hurt.
It's so hard to judge Massachusetts film.
Massachusetts film is awful, unfortunately.
These guys are so slow.
Yes, they are. They are slow. They're slow, and it's just bad football.
It is bad. There's like one stud on the team.
But it's man, when you look at the transfer portal and the guys that we brought in a lot of, I do think we got some good value. I even think the Javante Vereen kid could be good. That's the NC State kid you talked about.
Yeah.
If he contributes at tight end, you got such a solid tight end.
Tucker McDonald makes some good throws. He must not be that big.
He's 6'3".
He is 6'3".
Yeah, he's listed at 6'3". Can you make the screen bigger?
It says 6'2" in his high school.
Yeah, he's listed at 6'3" at UConn, but
he's 6'2". So he's a 4.68 40.
If he's a 4.68 40, then so are you.
Right now? Oh, that's not good.
No, I'm just curious to see what he has to offer. Just because we're going to be.
Well, it's going to be Pagano. It's going to be Evers. Everybody else is a drop off.
Well, the Virginia kid is really special, and I think my concern is.
What's his name?
Kassan Farrar, FAA.
Oh yeah, I think we did this film.
Yeah, my concern is we redshirt him, develop him, someone comes in and takes him. That's what scares me.
He's from Green Run. I think a UConn guy coaches that team.
Oh, really?
Green Run. Let me see. See if this is if there's still that guy. No, it's not.
But like I said, they have to tailor the offense to Joe. They can't do the same things they were trying to do with Evers. They have to. They really have to try to hold the backside with RPOs. They have to hold the backside with the tight end blocking. They have to do some 12 personnel. The more personnel groupings that they can use, the better. I think that gives them more options. They have such a great running back core. We even talked about 20 personnel with 2 tailbacks.
Yeah.
I think if you put Cam Edwards and Mel Brown back there, that's dangerous. And you can run the zone read option. It'll be a pitch every time, but it'll get the ball on the perimeter in space. The key is to get the ball to the playmakers on the perimeter in space. And if Joe can be a facilitator and do all that, we won't have a problem. That's what I truly believe.
Joe is good. Now I'm going to play you something. Let's see how you.
He's not good. He's serviceable. I think he can make a leap this year because, going into the season, if he knows he's the man, if he's not looking over his shoulder, if he's made improvements on his accuracy, if he's become a little bit more athletic to where he can gain 10 yards on a zone read, that will help tremendously. That will keep defenses on their toes. But offensively, I think that we have absolutely the ability to be an explosive, high-scoring, high-octane offense.
Right.
It's either go fast and try to move the ball, try to score points, try to run a lot of plays, or it's going to be old school, slow shit down, play 3 yards in a cloud of dust, and rely on play action passing, rely on nakeds to hold the backside ends, and rely on, he throws a great deep ball. I don't know, throwing a slant, throwing a quick out, throwing a bubble. Like, I don't know if that is his specialty. I don't know if that's what he does best. But but with the schedule we have, with the talent we have, with him at the helm, if he stays healthy, there's no reason we can't win 9 to 10 games. Do you disagree? Where'd you go? Yeah, this is the Steve Cully Show. I'm going to do a little ASMR for you. Tonight it's very clear as we're both lying here. There's so many things I want to say. I don't want to love you. I could never make it alone. Sometimes I just forget, say things I might regret. Breaks my heart to see you crying. I will always love you. I could never make it alone. I am the man who will fight for your honor. I'll be the hero that you're dreaming of. We'll live forever, knowing together that we did it all for the glory of love. Like a knight in shining armor from a long time ago, just in time I'll save the day, take you to my castle far away. I am the man who will fight for your honor. I'll be the hero you've been dreaming of. We'll live forever, knowing together that we did it all.